And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel, here on a Saturday morning, getting ready for a big afternoon of racing. A lot of rain last night, so that took them off the turf today. We had 6 big fields on the turf, so we're going to have some scratches in those races. We're off the turf today. Main track is listed as muddy right now, so that's the opening story of the day. The 2 features, though, the Polynesian and the Twix, they were originally carded on the main track, so they'll still be on the main track, on a muddy main track. You'll have to look for a mudder in the 2 features today. We have some scratches in those races as well, but still should be a good day for wagering opportunities. 3 carryovers for you with the big one in that late pick 5. Over 4,400 in the late pick 5. That starts race 7 today.
We talked about it. We talked about yesterday's card and leading to the whole weekend. I know we were kind of decimated this afternoon, unfortunately, by the rain and the races taking off the turf. But yesterday proved to be a big value day. Nobody could get that late pick 5. But kudos to you and a little tap on the shoulder for me. We kind of led the public to some nice little prices yesterday. Hopefully they followed along, boxed some picks, and came away with some good scores because they were there to be had yesterday, and we were on top of a couple of them.
Yeah, Jack Fisher had the big win in one of the features with Motivational. That was a big price winner. Sean Clancy was watching the race up there at Saratoga. You had some nice picks on the day. Nice win by Katie Voss with the first-time starter. The 4-year-old, that's the second time this year she's won with the 4-year-old first-time starter.
Got the full sister back in the day. No more excuses. Is going to be a heavy favorite for Kieran. But, and also Dove Houghton's firster.
Sure, how about that?
Yeah, that was good.
All right, well, let's get right to it. Let's show you what's coming up here next weekend. Big Saturday, next Saturday. It's Maryland Pride Day, Saturday, August 19th here at Laurel Park. Maryland Racing, Maryland Food, and Maryland Drink. We'll have some Maryland bred steak races, so some of the top Maryland breds will be showcased Saturday, August 19th. You get a free hat. Every racing program purchase, you get a free Maryland Jockey Club hat, so a popular giveaway, some great racing, some great food. You'll have the Sagamore Spirit Whiskey, some great craft beer, Jailbreak, or is it Jailhouse or Jailbreak? Jailbreak. And Flying Dog. Also, all you tournament players, so that's the Maryland Pride Day. Maryland Racing, food, and drink, and then a big tournament next Saturday, the Champions Handicapping Tournament, over $33,000 in prizes. It's a qualifying tournament for some of the big ones on the year. This is a well-played, popular tournament next Saturday here at Laurel.
Absolutely. We had a local guy did very well up in New York over the last few days. I'm sure he'll be here. Terry Cook, along with others. You going to take part in this at all? Can we take part?
Well, we'll get a ghost team. We'll get some friends to play. We can't play being employees for the Maryland Jockey Club, but we'll get our friends up there playing. Maybe give them some tips. Try to get them a 10-to-1 shot home. So lots of action next Saturday. Big closing weekend next weekend before we go to the Maryland State Fair at Timonium. Don't forget about Sunday brunch, always your best bet in the Garden Terrace, noon to 4. They're getting Sunday brunch ready for you now, $20 per person. All you can drink Bloody Marys and mimosas as well, so that's Sunday brunch for you tomorrow. Don't forget about the best happy hour in town this weekend, every Saturday and Sunday right here at Laurel Park, going up to the sports bar at 4 o'clock. You have $3 beer, wine, and drink specials up there every Saturday and Sunday. A lot of flat screen TVs up there, almost 100, I believe. So you'll have all the simulcast action and local sports. Football season starting up, so you can catch all the college football games up there on Saturday and all the NFL games up there on Sunday.
And that's a nice little lead-in, Maryland Pride Day, going back to that. Grab some new faces, some new people to come out. Really take a look at all the improvements that have made inside. Get up to that sports bar, and maybe you can find yourself a new home to watch the games on Saturday and Sunday. And also come out and plunk down a couple bucks on the horses as well.
Hopefully we get that fantasy football tournament going on up there once NFL starts up there. That's the sports bar. Happy hour starts at 4 today and tomorrow. Let's get right to it. We showed you the track conditions, muddy main track, turf. We're off the turf, and we'll keep you updated if the main track, you think the main track might dry out a little bit and get upgraded to good today?
Sure. Sealed right now when walking down. Saw some spotty, little spots of like almost little puddles out there on the far outside. We're going to play it safe. Muddy to start, certainly, with some threatening skies. But if it does stay dry, I'm sure we'll get to good very quickly.
We do have 3 carryovers to show you today. The big one is going to be the late pick 5. That starts in race 7, a little over 4,400 in the late pick 5. That starts race 7. Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 1,400. That starts in race 6. Little small rolling super high 5 carryover. That's a little shy of 500. That'll start the first race with 7 or more betting interest. So a lot of scratches early on. We'll keep an eye out. See when that super high 5 starts. Let's get right to it here in the opener. We do know race 1 will definitely kick off that early pick 5, and just like the late pick 5, industry low 12% takeout on the early pick 5. It's a mandatory payout here on the early pick 5. Starts right here in race 1. Maiden claiming $10,000 for filly mares 3 and up, going 6 furlongs on the main track. This race originally carded on the main track. 6-horse field, no scratches. I go with the outside horse, the 6 Frisian Gal from the Charlie Frock barn. J.D. Acosta on this 3-year-old filly by Frisian Fire. A good, decent third at this level. Last out at a big price, 29-1 last out. We won't get that big of a price today, but I think Acosta should get a nice trip from the outside here with the 6 Frisian Gal.
Yeah, if anybody has the winner for the opener, just please report to the press box and give it to me. This is a real tough little race. I mean, Nancy R., second off the claim, going turf to dirt. I guess looks like the one that can get the distance, is closed up at 6 furlongs. It has a little suspect speed, but I'm going to take one of the suspect speeds in here, hopefully maybe to get clear and last. Kind of odd. Tim Keefe, he's had a rough go of it of late, trying to get off the schneid. He's got Izell, the 2, and the 3. Perfect Deal. Looking at them, I hope they don't cross each other out on the front end. Perfect Deal, I think, can improve off of that June 10th performance behind Durango Girl and Wazala, who's come back to win a couple. Did all the dirty work into some pretty quick internals. Maybe she can kind of shake clear around the turn and, hold on for dear life through the stretch. But she's got to hold off the closers. Nancy R. probably the main threat. Frisian Gal and Glory Unbound in the opener. I don't have a whole lot on this one.
Me neither. Just going to be a rider's race, so whoever in this could stay out of trouble. I think the 6 hopefully can just stay out there in clean air on the outside. So we like the same 4 horses, it looks like there in the maiden 10 opener to kick off the early pick 5. Race 2 will kick off the early pick 4. 3 pick 4s for you this afternoon, starting races 2, 4, and then the late pick 4 today, starting race 8. That has a 15% bonus if you're a premier player. So go on down to guest services, learn more about that. Here we go. Race 2, a flat mile, 1-turn mile. Maiden claiming $20,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. And I go with the outside horse here, the 8 Censure from the Rodney Jenkins barn. Stevie Hamilton aboard in these connections, Hillwood Stable. They could be having a big day today. Of course, they have Shimmering Aspen in later on today. Last time this horse was on a muddy track, a decent third at Pimlico last May against Maiden 40,000 company. Last 2 tries on the turf haven't been very good, but now we get back to an off track today against Maiden 25. I think Hamilton should get a nice trip on the outside here with the 8 Censure.
Yeah, it's another tough little race. I'm going to go when in doubt, go to Claudio on the outside with a 9 Larrikin, like this horse last time. Second time reported gelding today. Repeat, kind of dictated on the front end, some slower fractions. Look back at the breeding. This horse should be able to handle the transition to the main track. A couple decent tries on the synthetic out in Northern California. I'll take the 9 tepidly Larrikin. Then we come back. Either part of the entry for Jerry Brooks probably would work. Stevens Answer has the experience, closed up a lot of ground late, the last 16th of a mile at Presque Isle. He's 21% synthetic to dirt. Horse ran a 54 buyer. If you're missing that from your page, first time out, puts it right in the mix. Another one's by Stephen Got Even. Should be able to handle the dirt. Another tough little race here, race 2. 9-1-7-5. God Loves a Sinner. I'm just worried about the mile. 7 furlongs maybe is a mile just a touch too far for him.
I overlook your horse, but Claudio Gonzalez red hot, and you get the leading rider Victor Carrasco on the 9 Larrikin. Claudio Gonzalez with 2 shots later on in the Twix with Sweet on Smokey and My Magician. So let's turn the page here. Race 3, it's a beat nickel going a flat mile. 3-year-old fillies or filly and mares 4 and up haven't won 3 races, and I go with the 7, my top pick here. My City from the Dove Houghton barn. The barn's really heating up here. Dove Houghton had a nice win yesterday with that first-time starter. 4 wins this summer for Dove Houghton. She's been around here for a long time, former assistant trainer to Tony Dutrow for a long time. She knows what she's doing and having a good summer. Good to see. I galloped the dam here, this horse, City Crossing, a long time ago for Annie Campitelli. My City, a decent second last out there at Charlestown. At least she's back in good form. She's 1 for 1 here at Laurel Park, and that was going a flat mile, I believe, with the win. Yeah, that was back in January here against the Nickel 2 Life. So now the Nickel 3 Life. She likes this track. she likes this distance. I'll go with J.D. Acosta winning 2 races early on here.
I got no problem with that selection. She likes the dirt. Her couple dirt tries in Maryland have been fine. They work here, whether you're not the one. Kind of a lifetime, one of the better lifetime numbers for whether you're not last time out behind Love You Back. Got a perfect trip stalking the duel, but they went pretty quick. I was surprised about how well she held on despite the quick fractions and being that close. She is the one to beat off of that race. I think she's going to go out and establish herself, maybe sit just off of first to fire, get the lead around the turn. Then you've got to hold off. She is special. I like the aggressiveness here. Take the drop here, King Leatherberry, going from 10, cutting it in half to the nickel, from 7 furlongs, a little bit longer distance, a race in which this horse broke its maiden for 25. I think can wear down whether or not. I just don't know if she can run that race back. She hasn't shown she can do it in the past. 24 tries to get the 3rd win. Not that that matters. This is a horse that doesn't have to improve too much. 3-year-old filly by Algorithms. It didn't run, too fast last time, but the way she did it, she was geared down late. She had a little bit more on the tank. I think she can move up another notch in there. I like the 2-1-3 in race number 3.
Yeah, rider of the 3, Carlos Delgado, 7-pound apprentice, and not too many apprentices around here right now, which is rare for Maryland. But this is one of the better riding ones. He's on the 3. Not that it matters. So nice lightweight, 110 there on the 3. Wide open, beaten nickel race. I kind of overlooked the 2. She is special. Class dropper here for the Hall of Famer King Leatherberry. That horse, a 2-time winner here at Laurel. Didn't get the biggest number last out when the horse was beaten for 10,000, but dropping to the nickel here today.
No, she hasn't. I just think maybe she can kind of just wear them down through the stretch. It's going to be a grind that last quarter of a mile for these horses. My City, maybe the most legitimate closer in the field. Your top selection kind of do that swooping move, but she is special. I think the class drop might get her over the top. A good move sprinter route for Leatherberry as well. You see the ROI. It's positive, over $4, and she broke her maiden on a surface very similar to what she's going to be on this afternoon.
She did. All right, another maiden race here in the 4th race, going 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming 16,000. 4 filly and mares 3 and up, and I go with the Hammy Smith filly, the 3 Holiday Inc. with Victor Carrasco aboard. 3-year-old filly by Harlan's Holiday, a decent second and debut against maiden 25,000 company. Came with a rally, beaten about 9 lengths there by the winner, but a good second against maiden 25. Now you drop to the maiden 16. You go from the bug rider to the top rider here, Victor Carrasco. So all signs looking pretty good here with the 3 Holiday Inc.
Well, I'm either Tim Keefe's best friend today, get him over the top, or his most hated enemy. I've got him picked twice here. DK's Valentine, got him in the opener back here in the 4th. DK's Valentine, steadily improving off of a long layoff on the turf. I just went back to the dirt race. She's just got to be close to those performances, I think, to beat this field. Active Kindness got some help with some scratches. The 7, Return to Senda, and the 10, Perfect Party Gal, coming out. I don't know if anybody's as quick as the 9. She's going to get set sail, but I like DK's Valentine. Showed a little bit more improved speed in those sprints, 2 races back and 3 races back on the turf. Hopefully can keep the speed in range and wear them down. So 2 or 9 in here.
All right, I use the 2 in my exact. We both like the 1 as well. 2 tries on the main track. The debut was on a sloppy track. That didn't go too well, but all 3 tries now for a 4th time. This horse has to break from the inside. The owner is probably not liking the number 1 here recently.
This horse, unfortunately, they rail every time, right. Was a bad actor in its debut and just really didn't get tied on at all. Was bet down to 4-1. Talked about this horse a couple of weeks ago. I think a race was taken off the turf, and this horse scratched in the off-turf offense. So stays in today. I know this horse can handle the dirt. Saw this horse down in South Carolina. Would not be surprised if she kind of really picks things up today. Yeah, I'm not going to leave her out of my multi-race gimmicks at all, Rosetta Red.
Oh, yeah, race 4. We'll kick off the middle, pick 4 there in the 4th. Let's take a look here at the 5th. We'll get a commercial break. Nice pick carry over in the Rainbow pick 6 today, over 1,400. That starts in race 6. Late pick 5 carry over pretty nice today. That's over 4,400. That starts in race 7. But let's take a look here at the 5th race, going 5.5 furlongs, claiming 5,000 filly mares 3 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months or never won 4. And I go with the 4, Dimples, my top pick here from the Damon Dill DeVico barn. Jevion Toledo rides a 7-year-old mare today. A good second last out against Allowance Company at Charlestown. That was her only race this year. That was back in May. We haven't seen her since then. She had a good campaign last year at Charlestown. Looks like they're taking a little bit of a drop here from those allowance races to the beaten nickel here. I would say it is a drop, those allowance races to the nickel here, but well spotted here for this comeback race.
Yeah, this is interesting. You know, this horse
is it a big drop or just a little drop?
It's a slight drop in my opinion. When I went back and keyed up the horses that she's run against her last two, they really haven't run real fast. And now with Big Daddy, I think ended up kind of dropping down to the nickel, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to take a shot against her. She's going to be heavily bet, and yeah, likes the wet surface. She's 2 for 3 on and off track. She's probably the one to beat. But I like the fresh face to 5. Met Marla Melva here for Jamie Ness. Comes in off of a win, but hasn't been seen since that win in late January down at Tampa. I like the speed of this horse. I'm looking at this race. Not a ton of quality speed going this 5.5 furlong distance. Maybe the 2 came up Rosie goes, but I think Met Marla Melva gets Acosta, good gate rider, can establish herself early and take this field wire to wire. Like that 3/4 work, 17 out of the gate on August the 3rd. They don't want this horse to come up short. I think she's going to fire. Barn heating up.
Both are top picks with good off-track form. My filly's 2 for 3 dimples. Your filly, Matt Marla Melva, 2 for 2 on an off-track. So he's going to off-track again today. J.D. Acosta on a bunch of live runners today here. He could be having a big day. He rides the 5 for Jamie Ness there. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about those 2 nice carryovers today in the Rainbow Pick 6 and the late Pick 5. We'll talk about those right after this.
At ExpressBet, we celebrate the champions who make horse racing great. That's why we provide more ways to bet from more places than ever. We've built an entire family of brands to support horse racing, to give players more of the rewards they deserve, give bettors the information they need to win, and provide a community for horse bettors. Because the best way to support the champions of horse racing is to champion horse racing. ExpressBet, we are racing.
Welcome back today at the races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, Keith Fustel. We're by the historic Laurel Park paddock, getting you ready for a Saturday afternoon of racing. No turf racing today. The rain got us again last night, so no turf racing. There will be some scratches on the card today, but 2 nice features on the dirt. The Polynesian and the Twix coming up later today. Nice carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6, over 1,400, over 4,400 in the late Pick 5. But there's the Pick 6 carryover, $1,458. That's going to start in race 6, a maiden special weight going 5.5 furlongs on the main track for 2-year-olds. I go with the 6 Supervision, my top pick here from the Cal Lynch barn. 2-year-old by Super Saver out of a Pollard's Vision mare. The debut against Maiden 40,000, which isn't too out of the category of maiden special weight. Kind of a similar category there, the Maiden 40. In the slop, in the debut, a good third at 5-1. One more great time, was a sharp winner that day. I think this horse gets an off track for the second career start. Should improve here today. Russell stays aboard for Cal Lynch. I like the 6 here, Supervision.
Yeah, good positive return on investment angle for Cal Lynch. Maiden second starts with a good sampling, over $5. So one to keep an eye on, the 6 Supervision. I go to the outside with the 11, Right Amount of Mischief for Donald DeMeza, comes in from Penn National. 2 really good efforts. The only thing I could maybe knock on the horse is he hasn't switched leads. I believe both starts.
Right.
A little bit green still, maybe figuring things out. But called a sloppy sealed surface. Unfortunately, also ran into Lacey Gaudet's firster last time out. Dynamic Asset. This horse has tactical enough speed. The Lasix goes on. Originally, like the Old Time Revival, who's now scratched. This horse should be forward right from the get-go.
I respect the horse. I use the horse in my top 4. Angel Suarez riding for Donald DeMeza. Should get a nice trip from the outside. First time Lasix today on the 11. I throw the 3 in there from the Hammy Smith barn by Orientate. Chin Kwakpin, is that the name? For Jevion Toledo rides. A bunch of works here at Laurel Park out of a Mojave Moon mare, Lasix in debut. I don't like the inside post, but I like all the first-timers from Hammy Smith barn.
Yeah, Chinkapin maybe. Is that Chinkapin?
That
maybe?
sounds
I'm
good.
not
Better than I did.
I guess the train says yes. Yeah, out of Heavenly Moon, so makes her a half to Rosetta Red, who we're going to see today. So the greens, definitely coming with some live runners this afternoon. I think the 2 Elementary is another one, the first to keep an eye on for trainer Susan Cooney. Got this horse to work over the track in June. out of a mare that made $135,000 on the dirt. It's a half to Made Bale, who was a 2-time winner at 2. So some precociousness for the 2 Elementary.
I love the Great Notions. That's the sire of the Susan Cooney runner Elementary. So a nice maiden special weight race here and to kick off the pick 6. The Ollie Figgins horse you have in the exact. I overlooked this one. The 4 Blue Ridge Scout, Horacio Caramano's aboard. Didn't run a lick-in debut. Might improve here in the second start. Figgins about 15%. It's positive ROI with his maidens in their second start.
Yeah, caught a bigger field. Broke a little slow, a little hesitation at the break. I know he was, 8th beaten 17 lengths. But I gave a little clue here. Mildly, the short comment there. Hesitated start, mildly. And that horse showed a little bit of late interest. I wasn't making any impact. But sometimes you got to go back and watch the reruns, watch these horses actually cross the wire. You might see a little flash. This horse did have some interest. An alert break does not have to improve much to be in the mix for race 6.
Well, and the horse is coming out of the Barry Lee VIP code race. VIP code, nice impressive win last weekend. Barry Lee, keep your eye on Barry Lee and keep your eye on Sagamore Farm up at Saratoga this weekend. Barry Lee runs in the Sagamore Special tomorrow, today in the Adirondack up there at Saratoga. Proportionality and Southampton Way run for Sagamore Farm, so they could be having a big weekend with the 2-year-olds up there at the spa.
They could have invited us up on the van
ride.
Ride.
Yeah, we could have ridden up with the horses or something.
Done something.
Fed them hay on the way up. All right, let's take a look here at the 7th race to kick off the late pick 5. Nice carryover today in the pick 5, $4,457. We'll have that industry low 12% takeout, so more money back to you, the better. This will be a well-played bet today, I think, here with the carryover in the pick 5.
You got the carryover. You got a horse like Divining Rod. In my pick 5, we can show it, guys, if we got it up there. I'm going to start with a couple singles to get it going. In race 7, a slew of scratches. The 1A, no more excuses if she runs remotely close to what she did last time. Just put her in the winner's circle for your crown. So we're going to go start it out with a single, 1A, in race number 8, the 7, Divining Rod. There's 4 scratches out of the Polynesian. I think this horse is going to be like No Dozing. Come back off the layoff and get it done. Here's where we spread. The 2, 3, 8, 11, 12 in race 9, a wide open affair. Starter optional for fillies and mares, now taking off the turf onto the main track at a mile. Race 10, 3, 4, 9, and 12, and we're going to wrap it up with the 3, 6, and 7. Wilco's Golden Eye really improved with the blinkers. That might be all he needed to get him a little bit sharper, a little bit more focused. He's going to be my top selection in race 11. $30 ticket. Maybe we can get those 2 singles home to start it.
I like no more excuses here in race 7. Let's take a look here at the first leg of this late pick 5 here. Claiming 7,500 filly mares 3 and up, originally carded on the turf, taken off. So a bunch of scratches. Check the scratches here for race 7. But the 1A stays in. This filly is going to be awfully tough for Kieran McGee. Maryland bred by Not for Love. Yeah, a lot of lucky dances. So this filly's a half to. The winner yesterday
was a full.
Full. That's right. Not for Love. Lucky dance. Yeah, full to that 4-year-old first timer that Katie Voss had win here yesterday. No more excuses. 8 wins from 19 starts. She's made over $85,000 in good form right now. Can she get to 5.5? Well, she got it here last time. Yeah. So against a tougher level. So she'll go right to the front here today with Sheldon Russell aboard.
It certainly looks like it. I don't think anybody is as quick as her if she breaks cleanly. She took a lot of pressure last time and went pretty quick and just said, see you later. Was set down at the 3/16 pole, open up, widen to win by 4 1/4. I think her main threat is Charm City. Charm City was buried by her last time, but what could turn the tables is a wet track. Charm City does not mind moisture in the racetrack, as evidence 4 races back behind Hugatry. Poco Loco made a good run into those horses. It's one of those 2, but I got to think no more excuses has the advantage today.
And you might wonder why the horse won for 11 last time, now dropping into open 75 today. That's what Kieran does. He claimed this mare for $5,000 in March, and he's now won 3 races with her. If they lose her today for $6,500, she's going to win again. They make all kind of money. That's how they do it. She's probably worth $6,500 as a brood mare. Not for Love, 5-year-old has made $85,000, 8 wins. California Chrome was out of a Not for Love mare, right?
There was a horse yesterday I thought they might take as a broodmare prospect. Did not. Really well bred. might be that Augustin stable horse that won, right?
Yeah, the Clyde Martin horse.
Yeah.
That horse was probably worth the money. Yeah. Claim box always active here in Maryland, which is the sign of a healthy meet. When you see a lot of claims at a meet at a racetrack, that means everything is flowing like it should be, and it's a nice, competitive, healthy meet when the claim box is active. Let's turn the page here. The stake races start here in race 8, the first of 2 stake races today. In race 8, it's the Polynesian Stakes, old Maryland name, I believe, the sire of Native Dancer. That's if pick 4, right? Pick 4.
Yep.
If I'm correct, that's at least that's what Dave Johnson and Bill Finley said when they had me on the radio this morning. I believe Polynesian, the sire of Native Dancer.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out, and hopefully I'm not too far off. 3 and upwards here, going 7 furlongs. That's going to kick off the late pick 4. If you hit the late pick 4, you get a 15% bonus today and tomorrow. 15% bonus for all you Premier players if you hit the late pick 4. So that's today and tomorrow. Got to go to guest services to learn more about that. Late pick 4 is going to start here. Race 8, the Polynesian, going 7 furlongs. We're going to have a heavy favorite here, Divining Rod. Let's show you why. Let's show you his last race last November against Grade 1 company at Aqueduct in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile. He was in front here. And wins or almost wins a dogfight. Gets speed ahead here. Finishes second to Connect, who would come back and win after this race. Gets a 105 Beyer speed figure in this race. This horse was good at 3. He won the Grade 3 Lexington. He was 3rd behind American Pharoah in the Preakness. He was good at 4. Might even be better now as a 5-year-old son of Tappet for the red-hot owner, Arnaud Delacour. Daniel Centeno aboard. This horse is ready to go, and judging by those bullet workouts on the work tab, it looks like he's ready to go. He should handle this company easily today.
Yeah, just a really tough beat in the Cigar Mile behind Connect, who's an absolute killer for Chad Brown. Got the lead, relaxed nicely off of some dueling rivals, got to the front. Looked like he was going to be able to hold on Connect just a little bit better. And talking about a style a little bit similar to No Dozing, who we saw come off of a layoff, not quite as long as a layoff for Delacour recently. He has a little bit more tactical speed. This is the right kind of spot to get him back to the races, get him back in the flow of winning. It should be a confidence booster for him. But he's going to have to work, I believe, a little bit because there's not a lot of speed in this race. And I think you're going to see Sheldon take an aggressive approach with the 1 Vorticity. Vorticity really runs some bang-up races, some sprints, likes Laurel, doesn't mind a little moisture in the racetrack as well. He's going to go out there. He can get to 7 furlongs, no problem. He's perfect in distance. I think Divining Rod just takes the aim of him. I don't know if he's going to blow on by, but I think he'll work his way by late.
Vorticity is in good form right now. And this horse was good last year as a 3-year-old. Was second in the Grade 3. Jerome won a stake race last year. When this horse was a 2-year-old, he won a stake race here, and then was second in the Grade 3. Jerome as a 3-year-old. A couple nice wins are already this year. Yeah, perfect 2 for 2 going 7 furlongs. A perfect 2 for 2 on an off track. So if anyone's going to pull off the upset, Vorticity has the best resume to do it. And I think you're right. They are going to be aggressive and maybe just try to open up by 3, turn it for home, and say, come on and catch me, Divining Rod.
Yeah, Divining Rod. He's got to turn a foot, Divining Rod. I think he broke his maiden first time out here going a mile. So he's going to go ahead and, I think, be closer than what you think. But Vorticity, like he keys up against Connect. He wanted no parts of Connect back in May at Belmont in the Westchester. But this is a different day. He's going to be the main target, and I think he's going to be tough to get by.
We have 5 scratches in the Polynesian, but I tell you who does stay in, maybe the long shot of the race. This horse is doing well, training well here at Laurel Park. The 6 Southern Barbecue from the Kenny Decker barn. The barn's been heating up recently, especially with Forest Boys riding. These two, 25% together with a positive ROI recently. Southern Barbecue, an okay 3rd. Last out against Starter Allowance Company in June. Since then, a nice half-mile work here at Laurel, 48-3. We caught up with trainer Kenny Decker. He says his horse is doing well, and he's excited about running in the Polynesian today.
He's doing real well. We worked him the other day. Had a nice work across the racetrack, and looks like a spot that we can try to get back to the stakes level with him. He's got some back class and seems to like this racetrack pretty well. So we'll see what he wants to do on Saturday. Yeah, we're getting these things in there where they belong, and we got a couple of them stepping up that's looking real well, and we're we're enjoying ourselves. You know, it's starting to, you know, come around to us. Just got to get where you belong and go with it. You know, so we'll see what happens on Saturday. You know.
That's Kenny Decker. The barn's been heating up recently. They stay in. They could get a shot. They could get a piece of it here with a nice ride from Forest Boys.
Yeah, I just don't know what the tactics this horse will take. I don't know if he's quick if he wants to really go ahead and kind of go with vorticity early. I would assume from just off the pace would be his best tactic, but he's going to have to step it up.
0 for 4 on an off
Big
track.
time. He's
so that's not going to help.
If he's going to get it done. But, yeah, if you were looking for a price, I mean, he's going to be your bomb, your longest shot in the race. And Kenny's probably hoping a couple other ones, you know, would stay in, too, to keep that price even higher. But, yeah, we'll see.
All right, so not only did I hear it on the radio this morning, but I saw it in the advanced press release for the Polynesian. He was the sire of Native Dancer, the famous Sagamore farm horse, of course. So a lot of history here with the Polynesian Stakes. Race 8 to kick off. The late pick 4, Divining Rod, going to be the heavy favorite there from the Delacour barn. Let's take a look here at the 9th race. Going a flat mile on the main track. Starter allowance optional claiming $25,000. I go with the 8 here on the outside. Chef Karen from the Jeff Runco barn. The train likes it. Boca Chica likes his horse. He's won the last 2 at Charlestown. In good form right now. 2 for 2 on an off track. I think Runco entered this race hoping it would come off the track, and he gets it comes off the turf, and he gets his wish.
Got what he wanted. We see some of these horses. He gets a lot of ship-ins. You know, like there's a lot of horses they transfer. They're not making it where they're at. Oaklawn, Churchill, Santa Anita, you name it. He had one the other day come in from Santa Anita into his barn that absolutely whistled. Yeah, it's done well and widened with pretty much ease last time out at Charlestown. Would not surprise me in the least this filly gets it done from just off the pace. Top selection for me will be the 2 Regal Roma, Anthony Pecoraro, a barn that usually has some pretty good success when he comes in to Maryland. I like to try going back to October behind Moon Virginia, beats Lady Turbo. Like I say, these are 2 other than kind of fillies and mares she's been running against. Caught some tough cookies on the turf. Comes back to the dirt here today. I think she's got a slight edge in race number 9. All
right, Fergal Lynch had a nice win yesterday on the Jack Fisher horse in the feature. He's on a nice filly here for trainer Tony Pecoraro. I overlooked that filly altogether. I just wasn't sure of her record on a main track, but a good second here last October against Allowance Company on an off track here at Laurel Parks. That's pretty good. Pecoraro, you're right, always crafty when he ships in here to Maryland. All right, let's get to the next feature here, the Twix Stakes. Talking about Katie Voss winning a race yesterday with a 4-year-old first-time starter. She trained Twix. What was it, the late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah.
Big-time stakes horse around here trained by Katie Voss.
Yeah.
Twix.
Back when I was kind of getting into the game, right? I think maybe early 80s.
I think it was one of the horses that put Katie Voss on the map early on back in the day. All right, so for filly mares 3 and up, going 7 furlong, $75,000 added. And the 3-year-old filly Shimmering Aspen, this is going to be her biggest test so far, facing older filly and mares, but she's in great form right now. Let's take a look at what she did in the Alma North here at Laurel Park on June 17th. And that was on a good sealed racetrack. She could get a similar racetrack today, right?
Yep, I agree.
She's in front here, turn of her home, and just blows them away. So she's a perfect 2 for 2 at 7 furlongs, 4 wins from 5 starts here at Laurel Park. But she does face some tough customers in this race. She's not going to have everything her own way. She's going to have to work for it, I think, today in this race.
Yeah, she might have gotten a little bit of help. It was a late scratch to the 10 Ultimate Holiday. I take out the 1, the 2, the 6, and the 11 in race number 10. So Shimmering Aspen, that field was okay in the Alma North, and I know she failed as the favorite in the Black-Eyed Susan, bet down just around 3-1, and maybe was hampered a little bit by the trip too and the distance. But she turns back 7 furlongs. Looks like it hits her right between the eyes. If she's keen early, you're going to see it. She's going to just drag, I think, Hamilton right to the lead. She's going to set the pace. But Sweet on Smoky, Mela, Sweetgrass, these are really experienced sprinting fillies and mares, so she's going to have to step it up one more notch, I think. I don't think it's going to be an easy test. If it is, boy, you might be to see the makings of a really nice sprinter moving forward in Shimmering Aspen. But she's going to be my top selection. Price underneath, the 12, My Magician. I know you spoke to Claudio Gonzalez, and we've got a little video.
We did, and I tell you what, if either Divining Rod or Shimmering Aspen, or if even both of them get beat, because everybody's keen on them in the pick 6 and the late pick 5. So if either one of them or both of them get beat, the late pick 5 could pay anything here today. You'll have the whole ticket maybe. All right, Claudio Gonzalez, one of your leading trainers here this summer. He's red hot, over 30% winners, 32% to be exact. He has 2 successful fillies in here. Sweet on Smoky is a stakes winner here at Laurel Park, and the other one, My Magician, beat Sweet on Smoky in a stake race at Delaware last out. Trainer Claudio Gonzalez very high on his 2 fillies here in the Twix. Let's see what he had to say a couple mornings ago here at Laurel Park.
No, she's doing really good. I believe she's gonna run big. I wish everybody go and front, a lot of speed, and then we come from behind. She's doing really good. I'm very confident with her.
All right, perfect. Yeah, she has a nice closing kick. So Sweet on Smoky doing well. How's My Magician doing coming into the stake?
Good. I'm surprised with her. She's really, really good. And the last time beat my other filly, my big filly I have it, and she breathed really good 46 the last time. She did good, everything. I believe I can give you a surprise to everybody with my 2 fillies.
Well, what kind of price do you think we're going to get on My Magician after the scratches? Because Claudio Gonzalez very high on her. Let's see, she's 9 for 16 in the money here at Laurel with 3 wins. And since that win in the stake at Delaware last out, she's fired a couple half-mile bullet workouts here at Laurel Park. 46 and 3 on July 28th, then 46 flat here August 5th. The fastest of 53 works. So My Magician sitting on a big effort, I think, today.
Yeah, odds-wise, I still think she settles in around 8-1. Maybe a skosh lower. Shimmering Aspen's gonna move down probably to about 9-5. I would think. Everybody comes down a notch or 2, but the improvement that she showed last time, that sharp run, that close at Delaware. Horses don't make up a ton of ground usually on that racetrack, and the way she was able to do that might be an indicator that she's going to step up and make one more step in her progress here today. But like I say, she's facing some salty sprinters. Shimmering Aspen, Sweet on Smoky, her stablemate, Sweetgrass Mela. Sweetgrass just might be hampered by the flow of the race. I don't know if she's going to get enough speed up in front to get it done.
Yeah, it's good to see a couple Kentucky trainers ship up here. I think you were talking about it yesterday. Ian Wilkes, Brett Calhoun shipping up here from Kentucky with a couple nice fillies here for one of our big $75,000 stakes. So the Twix, race 10, going to kick off the late daily double. One more race to go. Race 11, maiden claiming $16,000 for 3 and upwards. It's going 5.5 furlongs. I go with the 7 here. Wilco's Golden Eye. I heard you talking about this horse earlier. Xavier Perez will ride for Donald Souter. A good second at this level last out in the slop, going 6 furlongs. Cutting back that extra half a furlong might make all the difference here for Wilco's Golden Eye to go all the way today.
Yeah, and I don't think he necessarily is going to need the lead. I think Patty's Pirate first off the claim ran okay, was caught down inside against the grain of the racetrack on July the 9th. First off the claim, though, for Hugh McMahon will go ahead and set sail from the inside. I think Wilco's Damage can take the measure. The blinkers were the key. This horse was running a couple squirrely races. You went back and watched some of the videos, was scared to go through a hole, would drop back and then come again. Was really on its game last time out. Anything close to that race should get it done. Collateral Damage would be my price horse underneath for trainer Faith Leatherman. Kind of a zigzag move 2 races back, a little Z patterning. First time for Faith Leatherman, going from a route to sprint. I think she'll be closing well in the nightcap.
All right, we're both in agreement there with the 7 Wilco's Golden Eye in race 11. Good luck today. We're off the turf, but still some nice wagering opportunities. 3 carryovers today. Super High 5, Rainbow Pick 6, and the late Pick 5. That's the big one, over 4,400. That starts in race 7. 2 nice features on the main track, the Polynesian and the Twix Stakes. Best of luck today. Get a table up there in Garden Terrace. Enjoy all the action. Don't forget about Proportionality and Southampton Way, the 2 Sagamore Farm horses in the Adirondack up there at Saratoga today. Dave Robin coming up next to all of today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.